And so if someone was interested in, say, booking you for a speaking engagement or something like that, what are the ideal audiences that you're looking for? What type of businesses or platforms would you be open to or willing to share upon?
Well, I hate to give you a really broad answer to that question, but I'm going to start with the broad and I'll kind of come down. So peace and love needs to be everywhere. So be it in the workplace or be it in schools or be it in the community. Let Life Live focuses more so on children from that age group around 8, 9 years of age, partly because psychologists and behaviorists say, many of the challenges that children deal with start early in life. So they don't really know how to cope and how to manage the stresses and the trauma that comes from that, and then go up to the high school age group, 18, 19 years of age. And I focus on the parental piece of it because a lot of those younger children, their parents are under 50, they're under 40. So those are the two age groups that we focus mostly on. But again, on the corporate side or the business side, everyone from a McDonald's corporation who has employees who they hire people within the respective community to a Fortune 500 corporation. I came out of the pharmaceutical industry for about 30 years of my life, and which is where I really got introduced to managing your conflict as you hope to and you seek to manage and lead people to kind of a better outcome on the performance side. But as a believer, the Bible speaks a lot about managing our anger and not turning that anger into sin or not harming people. So those are some of the ideals and the target audiences then which that we are looking to address.
I'm just, as an attorney who handles personal injury cases and negligent security cases, I'm thinking of this with my legal brain, and I'm seeing this even as being something that certain businesses could do to help eliminate some of the risk that they may have in their field. I'm thinking maybe nightclubs or bars or places where people sometimes get into those disagreements and fights that turn violent and things like that. As a business owner in one of those fields, to protect yourself from, if in the event that you're ever sued, doing things like employee training is something you can do to show if you ever did have an unfortunate incident and did get sued. If you had done some type of training like this, it could show something you've done on your part as a business owner to try to eliminate or lessen the risk and the liability on your company. So I could see it, from a legal standpoint, even just beyond the ministry component and the life component and all the things, why it's good to know about eliminating violence. From a legal standpoint, it could protect your business as well in the event that you're ever sued, to be able to show that you did some preventative measures
Very much so.
to try to train your employees.
You're exactly right. I'm glad you're mentioning that. Again, I say that peace and love are everywhere because unfortunately, hate, prejudices, biases, differences, disagreements that lead to some level of conflict, and you don't know if it's going to happen at the workplace, you don't know if it's going to happen in the home, domestic violence, you don't know if it's going to happen in the schools or in the community. So we can't say that we're quote unquote less likely to encounter violence or less likely to experience a gun issue or because wherever there are people, there's a chance. So as an organization, you do need to train and develop the people that are up under your umbrella as an employer. And as a parent, as you may have seen, Brooke, a few weeks ago, I think it was the end of January, there was a shooting in Michigan where the parent was actually charged and prosecuted and charged and will be serving time, for the actions of her son. And the father is following that as well. So there's a movement to try to hold everyone accountable. But if you have programs in place, you can at least show that you are taking the necessary steps to address, some of the challenges that we all face in society as we interact with each other. Teaching how to manage conflict, teaching how to de-escalate a situation, helping people develop relationship building skills is what this is all about on that end of it. But just as a human, or the humanity of it all, again, I believe peace and love is going to win, but we have to be more of a voice in helping people to realize that there are alternatives in the way in which we behave and how we interact with each other. So.
Sure. And I had forgotten about that case, but I had looked it up and researched it in the last few weeks, just as you mentioned, because it is a landmark case in some ways, that it's the first time a parent has been charged criminally for the actions of their child.
Correct.
And it is not that hasn't come to Florida yet, but it may be something that other states could be seeking to enforce or change the laws to allow for responsibility both civilly and criminally for the actions of their children. So that is a very good point.